we're not happy about it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry about this turn of events.
Okay, well, first of all, I'll just give you an update with my health, so you know. I haven't felt right for months. Had a couple of blood tests and didn't pick up anything. I went down for a 50th year college reunion in the Wairarapa on the weekend. I stayed with my sister Thursday night in Upper Hutt. On the morning of Black Friday, as it happens, I got acute abdominal pain, had some pain relief, and then, but obviously something was really not right, and I was advised to go to emergency department. And I discovered Halt Hospital. I didn't even know there was a Halt Hospital, and they were marvellous. So I went in there from 4 o'clock on Friday, and basically I've been pretty much in hospital the last 6 days. I had a series of tests in Halt Hospital, and bottom line is that they said that I needed to get an urgent referral from my GP and that I needed to get further tests done urgently. So on Monday morning I went and saw my GP, got a referral, and then I just presented myself with my paperwork from Halt Hospital, my paperwork from my GP at the emergency department of Auckland Hospital, and a little bit of a wait, but I ended up in ward 97, which is gynecology. So the short version is that I had about 5 litres of fluid drain from my stomach. Quick way to lose 5 kilos, I can say. I won't completely recommend it. But anyway, and they have taken a biopsy. Now the biopsy results and the medical plan will not be known for 1 to 2 weeks. So at the moment I have 2 big guillotines over my head. I have my health and I have my house. And so anyway, that's the medical situation. I'm back home for the time being, because there's nothing the hospital can really do unless my stomach starts getting more fluid, or if I get more pain or whatever, then I can go straight back into hospital. But so that's where we're at. So 1 to 2 weeks, I'm waiting for the diagnosis. It's suspected ovarian cancer.
Right. Look, the last thing any of us want to do is get to the point of selling your house. Believe me. And you know that we've offered the postponement before.
Yes.
You know, if you sign this form, the whole thing will go away.
But bottom line is, I'll be really blunt here, is that what I believe that I've been through with Auckland Council is basically draconian bullying to force me into rates postponement. I made a genuine good faith offer on the 26th of January in terms of how to resolve this, and that Kelly at the last meeting, you acknowledged the work for my advocacy and transparency, and as you know, back in 2010 I got a Good Citizen Award while I was still disputing refusing to pay rates for the same issue. Now, in terms of some changed situation here, there's a lot of public interest in this, you know that. I've got a Give a Little page, which last time I looked has $13,500. What I'm seeking by 12 o'clock tonight is to have the $20,000 for outstanding rates sitting in escrow in a solicitor's account, and bottom line is that money, because it's part of the Give a Little deal, they need to have a cut-off date, but by the 20th of April next year, that $20,000 will be paid. It will be paid in full. In the meantime, the offer that I made still stands, which is to work with Auckland Council to finish the job and opening the books. That's my position on that one. But the other point I would like to make is that I now have information that I didn't have before. regarding, as it were, due process. What happened was I applied to Auckland Council a Lagoima request, and I got a reply on the 29th of March. And the covering Lagoima reply, and this was regarding information regarding written off residential and commercial rates and forced rating sale proceedings. And what it stated when I asked question 2, can you please confirm the mechanisms available to Auckland Council to secure outstanding rates debts apart from forced rating sales of freehold properties? And was told the following options are available to recover outstanding rates debts. Postponements arrangements can be entered into with ratepayers who fall within the policy on postponement. Where judgment has been obtained, charging orders will be imposed on a title. This is a step prior to a rating sale. That's what the Lagoima
You've
replied.
already been through this, James. It's already responded to you. You don't have to have a charging order.
No, Kelly. There's two separate things here. Under the Local Government Rating Act, true, you don't have to have a charging order. But under the Auckland Council Rating Sale Policy, and the reason for that policy was specifically set up in order to make sure there were clear rules. And let me read you the Executive Summary Rating Sale Policy, file number CP 2013-01403. Executive Summary Point 5. A rating sales policy has been developed, attached to ensure that there are clear rules regarding rating sales. That the policy contains safeguards to ensure that rating sales are undertaken only when necessary, so that ratepayers with genuine payment issues are given every opportunity to address them.
Yeah.
So, let me finish. And section 14, it states very clearly, the rating sale process is outlined by the following steps. 1. Legal proceedings are initiated and a court judgment issued with a charging order registered on title documents against the property. And it says, rating sales policy at point 16, the power to enforce a rating sale comes with significant responsibility to ensure the power is not used inappropriately. A policy on rating sales has therefore been developed to ensure that there are clear rules regarding rating sales. The policy contains safeguards to ensure that rating sales are undertaken only when necessary, so that ratepayers with genuine payment issues are given every opportunity to address them. And of course the minutes where this was passed was on the 7th of March 2013, and that was when that was passed, and the key points of the policy being stated. This is Strategy and Finance Committee meeting of the 7th of March 2013. Point 17, the key points of the policy are that the rating sale policy is to be used as a last resort. Where the ratepayer can pay but refuses to do so, or where the ratepayer refuses to respond to arrears collection efforts. Rating sales will not be undertaken where the ratepayer has genuine payment issues and will only be used where all other attempts to elicit payments have failed. And it also states its approval by the Chief Executive is required to proceed with a rating sale.
Yeah.
Okay, we know that. The key point is this, that was passed, and but the fact of the matter is here. So what we have is that the judgment debt was issued at the Auckland District Court on the 18th of January 2017 for the sum of $431.76 in outstanding rates as of the 11th of March 2015, blah blah. So that was the date of the judgment. And what happened was Stephen Town, CEO, he signed the application for enforcement of judgment for rates by sale and certificate of judgment on the 7th of March 2017. I have the title of my property on a search that was done on the 8th of March 2017, and that shows very clearly there never was a charging order.
No, Penny, and we remain of the position that we're not required to do so.
Not required by what? The policy clearly states you are.
The charging order is to protect the council rather than you anyway.
Yeah.
So
No, it's not the point. The point is there is not a charging order. The rating sale policy says judgment, charging order,
Doesn't
rating
require
sale.
It says that's what normally the process would be.
That says what? Exactly what? Oh, okay, well, I mean, it just deeply disturbs me. I mean, in my view, I mean, not only does Auckland Council seem to feel it doesn't have to comply with the law regarding the Public Records Act, it seems you don't have to comply with your own rating sale policy, and I'd also like to draw to your attention Auckland Council Code of Conduct, where Code of Conduct covers bullying, and I believe that what I'm being subjected to is bullying and also discrimination on the grounds that I'm an anti-corruption whistleblower. So that's my position. But it deeply disturbs me that basically you're saying that the policy doesn't apply, because that's what you are saying.
I do find that shocking as well, as a impartial observer. If the policy doesn't have to be, applied, then it would question whether it's even a legitimate policy.
Our view is that we have complied with our policy. We would like you to discuss postponement with us. That makes this all go away.
No, see, this is what you're doing. You're bullying me into rates postponement by having proceedings in the High Court to sell my house. You're not complying with your own rating policy. Stephen Town and you, Kelly, you never responded to my good faith offer made to you and James Hassel and recorded and transcribed on the 26th of January this year. You did not reply. So
Has Matthew Walker replied to you?
No, I don't. Matthew Walker is the acting chief financial officer, and my clear understanding of the Local Government Rating Act 2002 is responsibilities delegated under that act cannot be subdelegated.
No, Penny, we've been through all of this.
I'm sorry.
You haven't You've had your same. You've said the same thing.
Sorry, Penny's just spent quite a lot of time explaining.
But you can't just say, in our opinion, you are not the court, you are not the law, you are subject to it as much as Penny is.
Well, you're an officer of the law, even more so.
Mr. Town is required to sign the application for rating. This has all been explained to you.
Listen,
times.
you never replied to my offer, neither did Stephen Town. When I asked Matthew Walker, who authorised the letter where he said, oh, look at some of your things, but basically rates and postponement are two different things, and if you don't apply for rates postponement or arrange to pay your rates, the rating sale policy will proceedings will go ahead. And he confirmed he authorised that, not Stephen Town. But Stephen Town signed the bloody paperwork, so why doesn't the buck stop with the same person who's initiated the rating sale? I don't buy this, I don't wear this, it's not right, it's not fair, it's draconian bullying, and I'm sorry, but if you think you're going to push me into signing rates postponement, although my health is bad, no, that is the pits. That is the pits, Kelly. As far as I'm concerned, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean it.
I mean, the reality here, it seems to me, is you want her to sign this so that you can get out of having to take responsibility for all the points she's brought up, which is, please follow the law and open the books. Now, from that point on, everything else is being ignored, and the procedures that are outlined for those extreme cases where they exist are being ignored, and you are forcing her to sell her house, specifically when her health isn't good, but saying, just sign this and it'll all go away.
No,
it's not.
In fact,
it's
I
not
don't know if there's any point of being here.
Because she's not saying, she's never said, I won't pay my rates, I won't pay my rates.
No,
she said, I want to pay my rates, but I think it's fair that the council fulfills its legal obligations to follow the letter of the law and open the books.
Lisa, for Ms. Bright, for Penny, that two judges have said that it's quite a separate matter.
Listen, you're not the court. You are that's the court. You are the council. You can and do exactly what you bloody like. We've already seen that you don't comply with the Public Records Act, you don't comply with your rating sale policy, you don't comply with your code of conduct. You think you can do.
We do comply.
Well, your view is just bullshit.
Well,
you do not
that
comply.
Is council's view, Penny.
Well, whose council's view, Kelly? Who's saying that? When you say council, elected representatives, the CEO, who, when you say council, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about to the state, the elected representatives and the CEO.
As far as I'm concerned, Auckland Council were misled at the governing body meeting on the 22nd of March when, very unusually, something that's obviously not a normal operational matter, the sale of my house was brought up on the 22nd of March at the council meeting. No, well, actually, I found that information out from you. I didn't even know they were going to be discussing my case at council. And what happened was Matthew Walker and James Hassel gave assurances that the process had been followed. Well, I call bullshit on that. You haven't followed your rating policy. The mayor and elected councillors were absolutely misled, and I think it's an absolute disgrace. And when I bailed up Stephen Town on the steps of the town hall, after that meeting, I said, "Where's your response to my offer?" He said, "I'll get it to you soon." He never replied. He passed the parcel to Matthew Walker, whom I note is fronting for the council on during the media interviews. Why is it not Stephen Town? He's the one who signed the proceedings. Why is he not fronting the media?
I mean, there is a very clear issue here where there is bad blood.
There is very bad
Town
blood.
And Penny because he made defamatory statements about her good character, and from that moment on, he has made it his job to basically destroy her. And this is the final step. So when the policy isn't followed, that makes it even more serious.
Look, the bottom line is this, that yes, what Stephen Town did say was Ms Bryant has made wild and inaccurate accusations about the council and its probity, centred everywhere. He had never said, in my opinion, he never provided a skerrick of fact or evidence to back up where I've ever been factually inaccurate on anything. And he spent over $207,000 of public money, Simpson Grierson lawyer, to get my case struck out. So be it. But the bottom line is he still has never provided any facts or evidence where I've been inaccurate. He's got bad blood against me. As far as I'm concerned, he's lied about me. Was there ever any discussion by anybody whether it was appropriate for Stephen Town, given his obvious malice towards me, that he was the correct and proper person to be involved in signing?
He has to be under the law, Penny.
Oh.
He has no...
I see.
No
So well, how convenient. So the same person who's got malice towards me, who in my views lied about me, he's got no choice but to force the sale of my house. I call bullshit on that. You could have always put a charging order against my property. Better than that, you could have complied with the Public Records Act, which has been the law since 2005. And I have to say, as an officer of the court, Kelly, I'm really disappointed that I seem to be doing your job for you. Why have you not said, well, actually, Councillor Penny's got a point, we should have the books more open? Because I understand from Councillor Kathy Casey that there are going to be big improvements made and continuing to open the books thanks to my pushing and shoving. But in the meantime, we'll still keep threatening to sell Penny Bright's house until we force her to sign a rates postponement.
Yeah, it's as Helen said in our last meeting, that ratepayers simply can't pick and choose when they want to pay their rates.
No, how can you pick and choose what laws you follow, Kelly? How does that work?
I follow all the laws.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Well, hang on now. There's a difference
But
here.
do
No,
you want to
there's
try
a
and
difference here.
resolve
Hang on. We are. But
well, I'm not going to have the same argument over again. I mean, we're just going over old ground.
No, we're not actually, because I was at that last meeting, and you know what it struck me? It struck me you'd already made up your minds what you wanted, and until Penny actually did what you wanted, there was going to be no movement.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
I'm here as part of engaging in an open, transparent negotiation. She, in good faith, has the money. She is building. A considerable amount of money. It has never been about
Let's
Penny.
address that point for start. So Penny's got a little page specifically directed at what Penny says she owes. She actually owes $68,000.
No, let's get it right.
rates.
No, excuse me.
Penny-
I got it from Stephen. I got it from Matthew Walker. I got a breakdown. Altogether, I owe $89,000 apparently.
Yes,
20,000
the
outstanding
costs.
rates, 20,000 legal fees, and 49,000 penalties.
That's correct.
The outstanding rates is 20,000, which is
But we are
absolutely
not going
accurate.
to... But unfortunately, the penalties become rates.
Actually, can I just say here, as someone who's pretty familiar with this sort of stuff, it is at the discretion of the council how they apply this law. Yes, it is.
No,
You
it's
and
not,
I
is it?
both. You and
Yes.
I both know it is, because if Mr. Town can spend $220,000 of
207.
public money to try and attack Penny, it's pretty discretionary, and that's a big number. It's not 20 grand. That's 200,000. It does have a bearing on this case.
Huge
Because the
bearing.
bottom line here is someone who's not just floating around, not abiding by the law and not just making money and just couldn't be bothered paying.
I'm doing
you.
your bloody job for you,
She
Kelly.
has focused consistently in this last 17 years to draw this council's attention to this one issue, which all of us ratepayers feel we are entitled to. Now, just because they don't all turn up at council and breathe hot air, it doesn't mean that people out there don't want this council to follow the law. Now, Penny has the balls to do it, and good on her, because I sure as hell don't. I'm as terrified as you, as the next person. But she has stood up and is actually saying, on this point, I want the council to actually engage in negotiations about this situation. All the council has to do is say, we will open the books.
No,
We
no.
will-
Well, they have to do no.
Well-
What they need to do is end up with the published information. What I mean, I don't think
Which
there's
is-
a
When we just come back to the bottom line, is that council is not prepared to tie that with Penny's payment of the rates. They're separate issues.
They're-
Penny must pay her rates. The other question of the transparency is a completely separate matter.
But guess
That is
what?
just total bullshit, Kelly. I have disputed and refused to pay rates for 11 years because of the lack of transparency. For you to say they're completely separate is just absolute hogwash.
That's
It's just
exactly what Judge Harrison said. It's also what Justice
you
Meehan
are
said.
not the court. You are the council.
We're
You have
following the court's judgment.
You have, you put the proceedings into court, you can take them out of court. And that is what I'm seeking for you to do. I don't know if there's much more point in us meeting here today. I'm extremely disappointed. I absolutely do not accept that you've followed your own rating sale policy at all. I am prepared to meet again on Monday, but I really don't think we're going to get very much further here
What
today.
would be the purpose of meeting on Monday?
Well, what would be
What's going to be different on Monday?
Well, what will be different on Monday? I believe that the money in the Give a Little page and the huge growing public concern about your draconian bullying. I think that's what's going to be different.
Well, I can tell you now that as far as we're concerned, even if you were to get the 20,000 in your Give a Little page, that's not sufficient to settle the whole rates matter. There's 68,000. You'd need to postpone the rest of it. We're very willing for you to postpone
Okay,
your
hang on.
obligation to pay rates.
Let's get creative. Just hold it for a
You don't
second.
have to
Okay,
do anything.
but okay. Which you don't understand. There's a moral point here. It's not that she's trying not to pay any money. It would be different if she was trying not to pay any money, but she's not. She's trying to use it in order that the council. So why can't we have a compromise where the council writes a letter, goes upstairs, and simply goes, we acknowledge Penny's battle, and we will undertake to open the books within this time frame, and we appreciate her offer to assist us. And in return, she signs your document. It can't just be one way. This has been an 11-year battle, not just for the fun of it. It's been really, really awful hard work, and probably, related to creating her current illness.
No, I can tell you right now that, quite frankly, has Auckland Council given me cancer? We don't know the results, what it is that's wrong with me. Have council created enormous stress on me? Oh, yes, you have. Huge stress. And I'm sorry, but yeah, it's in terms of, on so many fronts, this is just absolutely wrong what you're doing. But I mean, if the purpose of your meeting here today is just to, same as last time, sign the rates postponement penny and it'll all go away, I mean, I just don't think you've been listening. Yeah, I don't think there's much more point today. I am prepared to consider another meeting on Monday. I want to take that back, and I want you to talk directly to CEO Stephen Town, and I want you, again, to ask where's the copy of the charging order against my property, and where is your response, Stephen Town, to my offer, and why have you not been fronting the media on this matter? I just don't see any point today. I really don't.
I'll meet you outside.
Yeah, I don't. You are making me very sick.